Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli Podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
And we're Cimorelli. Welcome back to
the Cimorelli Podcast. Woo!
I'm so excited for this episode.
This is a wild episode, guys.
Gosh.
This is episode 133. Yes, we've done 132 episodes. This is our 133rd. This episode is Patreon fully and YouTube mostly. So if you want to see our whole conversation today, head on over to our Patreon and join us there for $5 a month. It is a great purchase. The great people of Patreon would say. You know. Today, we're going to do something interesting, guys. We're going to be telling our theoretical parenting rules on different topics such as sleepovers, parties, curfews, stuff like that. And I'm saying theoretical because this is for teenagers and none of us have a teenager. So we're going to say what we think we're going to do. Once again, we might be eating our words in 18 years. Who knows? I don't know. It'll be interesting. I will have you watch this back when your children are teenagers.
I'll be a while.
Hey,
and
you know
then I'll
what?
be like,
I'm just going to say right now, I might not be that like that when I actually have teenagers. I think I thought so many things like, oh, this is exactly what I'm going to do as a new mom. And I was so wrong
Oh my
on a
gosh.
lot of things.
Yeah.
So I'm very open to the fact that everything I say might be wrong.
this is just like what you think you're going to do. This is, we
Yeah.
saw this a lot on TikTok.
Yeah.
And like people
Typically
would
all the ideas,
take the
like-
list and they'd be like, okay, this is what I think I'm going to do for this. Well, actually, they say this is what I think.
I would love to watch what people say. That's always fun to hear people's opinions.
It's kind of fun. I think it's so interesting.
We should read the list. Laura, you want to read the list so people know what's to come? And the end of this list is what will be on the Patreon only episode. If you want to see the whole list, you're going to go. And then the second half of the list will be next week's episode. We're doing two because we know we're going to talk too long.
Do you want me to read the whole list right now?
Yeah, you can say this one's this week's episode and this one's next week's.
This week's episode, we're talking about parties, grades, curfew, dating, drinking/vaping/smoking in one, piercings/tattoos. Next week, we're talking about clothes, sleepovers, cursing, chores, going to boys' houses, and cell phone/social media.
Okay.
Doesn't that seem a little anti-woman that it's going to boys' houses? What about boys going to girls' houses?
I don't know. That's just what it said. I just copied and pasted.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
just
know
saying.
what you
I'm just
want.
pointing that out.
Okay. So before we get into these interesting rules or what we think we're going to do, we're going to go with our highs and our lows. You know, like an icebreaker of sorts. You know, break the ice. So who would like to tell us their highs and lows first?
What was that song?
It was, do we get copyright strike for saying the name of a song?
No.
Break the
I would
Ice by Britney Spears.
Oh, I don't think that's
From
how it
that
goes.
one album?
Yeah, I know the song. Yeah, it's more like that.
Yeah. Anyway,
highs and lows.
I didn't do Britney justice, I'm
Highs
sorry.
and lows.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, I had one
His in-laws.
and I lost it. What was it?
Sorry,
Oh,
I'm being Lisa. She always sits in the end. She always eats. I just had to eat this, so we had to start. So I'm
love
just
to
doing
see
it. It's not very fun though, because I have to like lean away.
Yeah, don't chew into the mic.
Oh.
I lost my memory.
Okay, I'll go. My high is gonna sound so annoying and pretentious, so just to me it is. I cringe at myself on the daily. Because guys, this is so annoying. I went and took a towel and I read under a tree like a pretentious little rat.
What? That's
How
not
is that
pretentious.
pretentious?
It just that's what I'm saying. It's just to
Reading
me.
under a tree.
I don't know.
It's like a Disney movie.
It's like classic
Yeah.
human
It's
existence.
so annoying. I just
Kath.
I had a great time
That is the
though.
most classic thing.
I went out and because I was wondering like, what am I gonna do for fall once my pool is gone? And that's
A
what I'm gonna
tree.
do. It was really
Love
fun.
it.
It was really nice. And then I came back and then I read more in my backyard, which was like really nice. It was a really great time. So that was my high because it was so like I literally felt my whole being just relax, and I was like, whoa.
You're like, this is it.
I love it. I was like, this is the pool feeling. I'm getting it. I just have to be outside and I have to be reading and I have to have music. That's what I have to do. So it was really nice. And I took some pictures with like a filter though that made everything look a lot more orange than it was. To, hashtag romanticize your life,
wow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Is that
I
kind
know.
of like the fall vibe? The orange?
Yeah.
Got it.
And then
I
what
like to
was
romanticize my
my
life.
low?
What was my low?
Let's think. Low. I just feel like men have been in a flop era. So I think that's my low.
Wait, what?
They just have been.
Men have been in their flop era.
You mean like all men in the world?
No, just lately the men that I've interacted with have just been in their flop era.
Sometimes, Amy, I think I'm aging out of you having such trendy lingo. I sometimes have to pause for a moment and be like, okay, I think I know what that means.
You know, you've been in there. That you know, when
You've
you're
been in
like
your
out
flop
in the,
era.
in the trenches, and you're like, men are in their flop era right now.
Or is it you?
It could be me.
Flop
I don't know. Somehow things are just
Drawn to the
flopping.
flop.
Oh,
Could be
no.
either way.
I'm like, what was my flop era?
Like the dating apps, everything is just flopping. For
I think it
the
was
moment.
younger. I think I had a flop era in my teens, like 14.
I think my flop era was when I was 17 and this guy that I really liked
flop era.
gave me flowers and they were so nice for Valentine's Day and a homemade card and I am a literal horrible person. I liked him. I was so scared though that I was like,
Fear will do crazy
we'll
things to
accept
us.
this Valentine as a friend.
Even though you liked him.
I liked
That
him.
is flop era.
That is a flop
I
era.
went to the gym that day and I was like, why did I do that? I don't know.
I wonder if we
what's
could do an
wrong with me.
episode.
on flop
being in
eras.
flop eras. That's kind
Might
of
be
fun.
interesting.
Oh, man,
now that
that'd be
I'm
good.
like, what are my
Good
biggest
times.
flop
Bad times.
eras?
I like it.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
kind of
I don't know. Nothing's just been hitting lately. Everything is just kind of like the men are just kind of like, huh.
okay, I'm gonna take
I
that
don't even
and
have
roll
a
with
crush.
it.
I'm just bored.
That my low is that the twins were in their flop era. no, they're actually really shining lately. They're not in a flop
Sleeping
era.
flop era, though?
Yes. So the twins, moms will know. Mom, if you know, you know. They're kind of in this weird time where they're still taking 2 naps a day, and I think they still need to. But every once in a while, they'll skip the second nap, and it is horrifying. They skipped the second nap a couple days ago, and they each woke up 2 times in the night and in a row with each other. So I was up 4 times, and I was like, I feel like
That
I'm
is
a
a
newborn
flop
again.
era. That's a flop era.
The next morning, I was like,
Flop era for sure.
so yeah, that was my low. But my high is that they're really not in their flop era. And I just think the twins in general right now are in such a fun time where they're like, Leo is like putting a blanket on his head and then going, ha, 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 like, oh, I disappeared. And like,
Oh, that's so
like
cute.
he like thinks it's funny that he's like playing peekaboo with himself. And like he and Dom they'll play hide and seek with each other. Which is so cute. One of them will start crawling away really fast and then turn around and be like, did you see me? And then they'll start laughing and then they'll crawl really fast again and then like go behind the ledge and then peek out. It's so cute. So
Oh, Kath, I love
I
that.
just like sit there and watch them
That's
play.
for
and
sure
it's the
not a
cutest-
flop era.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
a
cute.
major step.
Definitely
Okay.
not.
So cute. Oh, that's the best.
Love to
best
see
thing
it.
ever.
They're in their friendship era.
They are. Yeah.
I can't really think of a specific low. I probably have one. But I'll just say my low is every morning when I wake up
Every morning
before I go on my walk. I've been
yeah.
going to walk every morning, which
Love to see
is
it.
great. But the low is when I get up because I'm waking up at like 7, guys. Okay?
Lauren!
Which for me is a big deal.
Wait, like with an
Don't
alarm or just your
laugh,
boss?
Sorry.
laugh.
Hey, I can't laugh because I didn't wake up
Take
that early for a
yourself
long
back
time.
in time.
Yeah.
When
That
you
was
were
early
me.
back in the
Okay,
day.
not
Back
you.
in time for
you,
me.
yeah, you always woke up at 1
I
a.m.
just wake up at like 8.
But
Wait, so what? Like with an alarm or like naturally?
yes, an alarm.
With an alarm? Oh, you have to
Okay,
do the-
but it's annoying
old
waking
alarm.
I
up.
hate alarms.
But I
hate
do
them.
it anyway because it feels way better the whole rest of the day. So
for
that's
you.
my low. My high was actually, I would say last night. You were there. Well, you weren't there, but we were in a
We
group
met in
chat.
the back. Oh,
No. We were in a group chat that was just popping off.
It was intense.
It was like 8 of us, 8 girls that were all just.
We were riding for the girls at dawn.
Okay, wait, let me just
what?
tell. We were all ganging up basically on this guy. Well, the guy wasn't in the group chat. Okay, so we were just talking about this guy who wronged one of the girls, and it was just so
It was
funny.
wild.
Like everyone was texting at the same time. It was like 10:30. It was just like bam, 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 buzz, 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 and I don't know. Everyone was not in their flop era, and everyone was being so
Slaying.
funny. And it was just a great time. Like, you know, when the group chat's just popping off and it's just so funny. You just sit there.
I was dead.
Not
It's so
really.
fun.
It was really funny.
Not really.
I feel like I'm not in very many group chats.
You're in a group
that
chat
pop
with
off.
us. We don't pop off.
Sometimes we do.
Think of the past.
I feel like that happens in
Go
real
back
life
in time.
for us.
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Now I can think of some times
When it goes bzz, bzz,
when
bzz,
everyone's
and you're
saying
like,
hilarious
"Ah!"
things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hilarious roast.
And
and
like-
such.
Great time.
Yeah, it just there's a certain kind of energy that comes when the women ride for each other at dawn. Like
Yeah, it's just so
especially
funny.
when there's like one has been wronged. It's just a wild energy.
Love it.
Love that.
Okay,
Me
you.
trying to get situated. Okay, so Milo. Yeah, Milo is the morning before I get up. Also, because that's when I'm like, can I live another day? Then I get up, I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
I get that.
At first, I'm like, oh, because I want a little bit more sleep. She's going back to sleep right now. So, excuse her. She's only a child.
Yeah, excuse
Yeah,
her.
excuse her. She's only what 1.5 months old.
Let's see. My high is that Tristan is really like smiley and
So cute.
fun.
She's so adorable.
Aw.
And it's very awesome to see. I'm trying to get her to sleep right now. She just needs a little bit of bouncing.
Yeah, you got home today, and then Barrett's like, "Mama, mama," and then he goes, "Sister, baby, sister, baby, sister," and then he was like done with you.
That's another high that Barrett's like, Barrett's baby. He thinks she's his baby.
Barrett's baby. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, it's amazing. Barrett is so good with her, and he's so happy to have a sister. It's amazing.
Okay, so next we have our 5 perspectives. It's 4 because Lisa is on leave, as we have not mentioned this episode yet, but Lisa is caring for her husband who's going through treatment for cancer right now, so she is on a leave of absence, but she'll be back.
Keep their family in your prayers.
Your prayers, guys. But in the meantime, you can be Lisa and comment your POV below. So today's POV, guys, is how old were you when you went on your first date, and do you think it was a good age?
Trying to think.
Well, what would
was
we
my first
define?
date?
Do you think? Okay, do you guys
my
think?
God.
No, 'cause seriously,
define?
do you think date is the first time you hung out with a guy you liked,
Or when it was more like a
No,
date.
it was a
or
date.
did they like
your
actually
first
like
date.
ask you on a date? Like, oh, I want to go on a date.
Whatever you define as your first date.
Okay, okay.
Because like hanging out is not necessarily a date.
Well, then in my case, then I would say 21. Because none of those rats said like, do you want to go on a date? They were just like, oh, let's hang out because we're a thing. We're not going to define it. So I would say 21 because that was when a guy called me and said, I would like to take you out to dinner like a man.
Oh,
And so 21. And I think,
think that was a good age. Too
I mean-
young.
no. I mean, I hung out with guys I liked before, but I think that was a good time because it was like, oh, like I felt like I was old enough that I really enjoyed it. And like, I don't know. I think it was good.
Mine, I think I was 16.
Cute.
I think that was a good age. We went bowling, had a good time.
I remember that.
It was chill.
Not that I was there. I just remember it happening.
I thought it was a good time for me personally to venture in to the dating pool.
I think
The dating lane.
yes. I was 19, and I thought that's a fine age. I don't really know. I was just horribly terrified,
Oh, I remember that.
so bad. But when you gotta do it
I
someday.
remember that.
Leaving before.
Yeah, for sure.
I just remember from mine that he took us to this nice restaurant and I wore a hoodie and jeans and Vans.
Oh,
I was
Typical you, Cap.
he was-
I want to be friends, actually. I'm going to wear a hoodie to our dates. You don't get the wrong idea.
He was wearing a nice sweater and
Kath
like
was in her
khakis,
flop
and I was
era.
like, "Hello, here's me in my hoodie and jeans."
Kath was on her flop era,
Rip.
ladies.
For some
I remember
reason,
that. You were wearing the navy blue white striped one.
Yes, I remember that. I remember
just
that
do.
night too. Wait, is that the one you had an allergic reaction?
Yeah, right?
Because it's iconic.
You guys know too much.
It's just iconic.
man, I don't remember that. I'm having a hard time remembering which was what age. I think I was 17. And I guess it was good age. I feel like I just had no clue what was going on at 17, even though I thought I had a clue. I feel like I was very confused about what.
I feel like on
What's
your
going
first
on?
date, you're never going to have a clue what's going on.
yeah.
Yeah, unless you're 21.
But in life, you have more of a clue at 21 than 16. Just
Yeah,
in
that's
general.
true.
Like,
I did not have any clue.
Yeah, I guess it was a good age. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Okay.
So 17. I remember so many of my friends were like dating so much younger. I remember in middle
Oh
school,
my gosh,
people
they're
were
like
dating.
10. I got a boyfriend. I'm like, all right.
How do you?
I did feel like the oldest person in the world, I remember,
Oh, so old.
to not have dated. But that
You do
wasn't
feel a little
true.
old.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Okay, so now, guys, now that we answered our POVs, give yours too if you would like to. we're going to get on to our main topic, our topic of conversation. And Lauren, are you going to be leading us today in our topic?
She has the
Sure.
list.
Because you led us
I'll do
last
it.
time and it was fun.
All right.
Do it,
So
Laura.
Lauren's going to lead us.
Yeah, this
Explain
is
it a bit more.
Okay. I'm getting to it. This is our parenting rules. So basically, I'm going to say a category. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
And everyone's going to say what rules they have about said category.
Yeah.
All right?
This is just
So-
what we think we'll have for our future
None
children.
of us have teenagers.
You guys
but-
know.
I'm nervous.
It's just a game. It's just for fun, okay? We're going to go down the line to make it more
I just gotta say, I'm
Easy
terrified of
to
having
take in.
teens. That's
I
really
know.
All right,
such a hard
all right.
time in life. Oof.
We're starting off strong. The first category is parties.
Oof.
what are going to be your rules for parties?
Can they go? Can they not go? Can they go to some? Can
What
they go
kind
to
of
none?
parties do we?
What kind of party?
Well, you don't know. You're going to ask them. You got to rely on what
You're
they
a
tell
kid.
you.
Okay, here's the scenario. You're a kid. Hello, mom.
Dom and Leo walk up. Hey, lady.
Like, we want to go to this
we wanna-
party.
Can I go to this party?
My angel.
oh my
on
gosh, and
Friday?
then Barrett will be
Where
like, oh,
is
can I
it?
go with too? All
Yeah.
three of them rolling
Where
up to
is
the
it?
party
Oh.
together with
It's like,
Tristan
will Barrett
in
be
tow.
there?
Okay.
Okay, who wants to go? Should we go online? Amy, go
Yeah.
first.
Can they go?
Yes.
Or do you have
What's your
rules about
rules?
it?
Here's my thing. Each and every child of mine will have a lot of knowledge about safety
I can imagine.
because you
can
need to have
imagine.
safety in this world. And I know you're a teen and you think you know everything. Yeah, I get it. But you need
say
to know how to safely interact in these situations. So, like, yeah, you can go. I don't want you out too late, and you will have a lot of, you know, safety tips. Like if you see people doing certain things, or if you're like, this
Leave.
person looks creepy.
He's like,
to
here are the
me.
tips.
Or like, you know, trust your instincts.
He's like, remember the tips. Trust your
yes,
instincts.
literally, them leaving the door. Remember to trust your instincts.
I mean, I'm exactly the same. Though,
Because
so.
like I want them to be able to go because it's like it's fun and you're like you want to experience things unless they're a nerd like me never got invited to any. I would love that scenario, but I also don't want to. I don't wish that upon them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. In my soul, I'm like, do not go to anything like that. Just like, from my past experiences and like, why were any of us there? Why were people doing these things that they're doing? Danger, danger, danger. But I
Danger.
do know that like, it's like if you tell them they can't go, they're probably just going to go behind your back.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I don't really want that. So I don't know. Because I feel like I would feel so stressed just letting them go off into the lion's den.
now what if you were like
Terrifying.
tracking them, like if you had Life 360 or something?
You know when kids do
Ooh,
weird
it's
stuff with
so
that
scary.
though? They like leave their phone
No,
or
yeah,
have
that's-
someone like log in, whatever.
I feel like I would need some sort of safety protocol
scares
where like, okay, you can go if you go with, if they have this, a responsible sibling or friend. Like you need to have someone
Like
that's
a buddy.
like a buddy. You're not going by yourself with your
That's a
random
good
friends you
point.
just met or someone you don't know. Like,
like
not doing that. You need to go with someone that like I can trust. But I don't know, guys. Like it would be so hard to be like, yes, you can go.
I would love to have my child live text updating me, like live tweeting the situation, like, oh my gosh, I saw this, I saw that. I would love that. It's not gonna happen, but it would just be so fun.
You never know.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh my
so-
gosh, you know what? I have a gift with teens. Teens do love to tell me
Maybe
their stuff about their lives.
They will be close.
Who knows?
Kat?
I think there's so many variables in this scenario that it depends on. So, like, first of all, whose house is this at? Do we know this person?
Yeah, that's
What's
true.
their
Are
family
parents
like?
home
Yeah.
or not home?
Right. Generally, like, I kind of want to know, like, who are the people my children are hanging out with, and are they like, sound people, or are they not great? I'm kind of leaning towards yes, just because, like, I feel like the harder you like try to control your kids, the more they rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like you, as a parent, you try your best to shape your kids, instill good values in them. But at the end of the day, they're teenagers. They're almost 18. They're going to be moving out on their own in the world. And I feel like if you're just like, I will keep them from all the bad things, it's like they're probably going to
can't.
want them even more. And I'm like, I'm just hoping that I did a good job of like instilling good choices. And they're teens too. They're not always going to make good choices. Like, it's
No.
just hormones. It's just crazy time. I'm also kind of hoping, I have a unique situation because I have twins. And I'm kind of hoping that at least one of them will be
Hopefully
like
at least one.
a good guy. And then I'm like, just go with your brother. And then hopefully he'll be like, we shouldn't do
Dom's
that.
aura is already
let's
like,
just hope one of
what
them is going to be really
are you
sensible.
Dom's aura is already like, what are you doing?
Dom is
So-
very dominating. So let's just hope that he leads in a good direction.
But here's the other thing. It's
I don't
like, you think your kid is going to tell you if they're going, okay, there's some like crazy wild party that's being planned and they know it's going to be wild. There's not going to be parents. They know that. They're not going to tell you, like, you're like, hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to my friend Brittany's house. They're not going to Brittany's house. Will there be
Yeah.
alcohol? No. Are their parents home? Yes. Their parents are not going to be home.
Yeah.
There's going to be alcohol and what else?
But
Whatever
would
the
your
heck
child
else.
lie to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because their crush is there. They desperately want to see them.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying if they're
Try to
with
live
someone,
life.
like I think the buddy system is good. Is they're with a sibling or someone who's like trustworthy,
Also-
or they have a friend who has a good head on their shoulders they're going with. You know,
I
it's
feel like having a
I
curfew
don't know.
does try to mitigate that. So it's like if you're back by a certain time,
No,
usually the more
because,
horrible things
oh,
happen after that time.
I'm sleeping
true.
over at my friend's
No,
house,
there's no-
which
no,
is
we're
We're
another
getting to
thing.
sleepovers. We're getting to sleepovers. That's a
You're-
good
look,
point.
if you're sleeping over at your friend's house, your friend's parents will text me when you get home on
Okay.
time. That's
Or
what's gonna happen.
People pull a trick and they have their friend's mom called. I have to see. And they're,
What? I
and
really
it's
hope.
not okay. Whatever.
Kath, teens are gonna be teens, unfortunately.
I know. I'm
so
just
wait,
saying
actually,
that's
my rule. I
Yeah,
don't
let's
exactly
hear
know.
it.
Yeah, it's just it sucks because you know that your teens are most likely, not in Amy's situation, most likely though, gonna be in dangerous situations. But you would say you
Yeah. Not
avoid
in
them,
me.
right? Did you
Yeah.
avoid them?
Yes.
Like you've
I
never
avoided
been
them too.
I did
Okay,
not.
you have both
I
never
didn't
been,
really
and
wanna
that's
go
great. And
to
that's
those
what
types of things.
that's what I would hope. But that's not.
well, Chris,
realistic?
you're gonna raise popular children, unfortunately
Yeah,
for you.
I was
You
not
have-
friends with the
I'm a
popular
nerd.
people. I was friends with the more fringe people.
Yeah, but you
And
still
we
get in
didn't. They
dangerous
didn't really
positions.
have like crazy parties or anything. I don't think I was even really invited that I can
See, yeah,
remember.
me-
See, that's great. Mom never had to stay up worrying.
Yeah, and I didn't really
About
want to
you.
do bad stuff.
Bro, I would be worried.
I was pretty like straight and narrow.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's, you know, that your teens are going to be most likely in dangerous situations at least once, if not sometimes multiple.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. It's just when you think about, parties and you think about how there are literally, it just sucks that there are literally boys running around at parties who their sole goal is to prey on a young girl.
Yeah.
And that's a reality of high school
You
age.
have to teach your children that too.
That's terrifying. They're just literally trying to get a girl under some sort of influence of some sort of substance
Literally.
and take advantage of her. Not all,
that's not
thank
cool,
goodness,
bro.
teen boys, but that is a reality that is out there. And then there are teens who are drunk driving and driving under the influence of other substances. That's terrifying, thinking
Yeah.
about car accidents. But when I think of like myself as a teen, I'm like, I'm not going to get in the car with that person, whatever. But I'm like, plenty of
I will
people
say,
would.
like, as a mother of two sons, that is one of my number one goals that I'm really hoping I can instill in my sons is a respect for women.
I know.
really
I think
hope
about that all the
that
time.
They would be the boys that would be like just keeping like a good eye on other girls around them and just like I don't know, like being protective more
Yes.
instead of like trying to take advantage.
Being a psycho.
I really
yeah,
hope so.
that's what scares me the most to think about, like the danger,
agree with that.
all the dangers. And it's like there's just so many dangerous things that happen. I mean, at least I'm thinking of a lot of teen situations that either I was in or my friend got in or my other friend got in. And it's like really terrifying to think about.
Yeah.
I even think of this one girl, she was a lot younger than me. I think she was 3 years younger than me. And she had like, she was like experiencing alcohol poisoning at this party, but they didn't
I
want
remember
to,
that.
they didn't want to,
Call the like EMS or people.
yeah, they didn't want to call 911. And she
Yeah.
was like, it was what they were saying was happening to her was terrifying. Thinking she was actually like, could have been dying, but they're like, we don't want to get in trouble.
oh
so I guess,
my god, she can just die. No
yeah,
one
it's
will
like, we don't
notice.
want to get in trouble. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Everyone's like walking around and the influence are like, are they noticing? Like, are they going to be in, they're not in their right mind where they make a good choice. So, okay, what's my rule? What's my rule? I don't know. My rule is like, I guess a curfew is a good plan, which we are going to talk about curfews. I can't, okay. I'm not going to be the super strict parent who's like, you can't do this, that, and the other thing, because I already know that creates really sneaky children. I know, we've all grown up with kids like that. That wasn't me. I didn't really have rules very much as a teen. I didn't really have a curfew either. It's kind of weird. So yeah, I kind of want to emulate that in a way.
I did not because I didn't go anywhere.
Didn't. Mom said, don't come home too late. I'm like, okay.
I don't really remember having a curfew.
Yeah. So I don't know what
I
the
didn't
rule
go
is.
anywhere. Mom would probably be happy for
guess
me if I went somewhere.
It's you have a curfew, and the main thing is that I want to have a relationship established with my child that they do feel comfortable. Like Nick and I were talking about this last night. We were saying the number one thing we're scared about is their safety, and that we really want, I know parents always say this, we really want them to be able to come to us, and you have to like walk the walk. If you're going to do that, like you can't be like really judgy and strict, overly strict,
that's so
and
true.
expect them to come to you. So we're going to be like firm with things, but I'm not planning on being like wildly strict about things, and Nick isn't either. So that's my rule: is you're going to have a curfew, and
Safety lectures.
I'm probably going to let you go, and I'm hoping that you're going to be smart. And maybe I'll be like checking in on you. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
maybe
not in
some
like a way.
check-ins will be
I don't
good.
know. It's so scary to think about.
Yeah.
That terrifies me. I don't want anything to happen to them. Okay, next.
Okay.
People can heal from things that
Next
happen as well.
topic. Yes. Next topic is grades.
Grades.
This is an
I really
interesting topic.
Wait, what?
okay.
What are your
unless
rules?
Your child,
Yeah.
unless my child is like really trying to get into like a really prestigious thing where they need to have top of the line, grades or whatever. If they want to set that bar for themselves, I will help them, but I don't care what your grades are as long as you're not failing stuff. And if you are failing stuff, we need to just kind of work on that. Like the world is not like life is not that serious as people put the stress on grades to be, if that makes any sense at all. I just don't really care. Like as long as you're learning the material, I don't care what your grades are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really get this question that much. I guess
think that's
people have
homeschoolers.
rules of like you must get these grades or like you get your phone taken away or something. As
straight
a
A's.
homeschooler, its grades are a lot different.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I plan on homeschooling my children and not being super like grade focused. So I don't think I have rules about that. It's more just like I would like to try to educate you. And if you have like some trouble learning, like we'll do our best to work on that. Like, I don't know. I feel like punishing a kid for not being like smart enough is kind of strange to
Well,
me.
it could be like they're thinking, which this is not me at all, but they're like, you didn't do the homework.
Oh, like you're a
Why didn't you do
slacker.
it?
Oh, if you didn't do the homework,
There's probably
You
a
might-
deeper issue there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a deeper problem.
That's what
don't
I was going to
know.
say is like, I'm definitely going to homeschool my sons. I definitely want to. I don't know. Maybe that'll change when they get to high
There
school.
could be
but
grades with what they're doing.
there could be grades. I always think what's the deeper issue? Because I'm like,
Yes.
in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe it's like you're just not really a science guy.
Maybe they're deeply
know, it's
depressed.
Or I was gonna say maybe it's depression. Maybe they're having a hard time focusing because they're really troubled with some kind of issue going on.
Yes.
So I would really, my bigger concern would be like if they're really failing like all their classes or something, like
What's going on?
let's figure out what's going on. Maybe like mental health support or like maybe some tutoring if you need extra help. Like maybe there's learning disability that's undiagnosed. Like trying to get to the root of the
Yeah.
problem. And I don't know. I just don't really care about straight A's. I just think that's very like, my child went to this school and they're so impressive. It's like, I don't really care about that. I know some parents do. And I think, no offense, but I think that's kind of more about the parent than it is about the child.
Yeah, because my children's grades are for my children. They're not my grades. I'm not the
think-
one in school.
I think
But
another
who
reason.
wouldn't know that by some parents act.
I think another reason is like financial issues, though. They might be
yeah.
like, I really need, which that's a lot of pressure for your kid. Like, you really need to get scholarships.
Yeah, but
You need to get good
But
grades.
I don't know about what's different states, but in Tennessee, there's a lot of free college programs.
No,
You
I
can
don't
do
agree
community
with
college.
Yeah.
There's a lot of state schools. They have great financial aid. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you don't care about prestigious as much, you can get an education affordably in a lot of places.
Which we grew up. So we grew up in a place that with a lot of kids. A lot of my friends, they had a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah.
I think most of my friends were like, I have straight A's, and there was a lot of pressure. They'd get in big trouble if they didn't get an A, maybe like a B. I don't know, but they would get in a lot of trouble. which to me, I mean, they were really stressed about it, and that sucks. I didn't experience that, but yeah, I would not have that for my kids at all. Like, there's not a reason for me, like you need to get whatever grades. Same thing as you guys. There's no rules for grades.
Yeah, it's just really
a deeper
sad.
issue
It's
I
like-
care about.
We live in a society where there's so much pressure on kids to become
Way too
high
much.
achievers at a young age when they're just kids. They should have a childhood. They should have fun. They should have free time instead of doing all this extra homework for hours on end. Like, that is literally robbing them of their childhood, which only comes once in a lifetime. And I think that time is important for kids to be able. That's one of the biggest reasons I would like to homeschool, is because you can get the work done in a certain amount of time and not have all this homework at the end of the day. They can do extracurriculars. They can do music. They can do other things. Like,
Yeah.
I want my kids to have a childhood and to not feel so much pressure all the time.
Crippling pressure.
Yeah. Oh my god.
All right,
It
what's
was
the
so
next?
sad.
All right, next is curfew.
Oh, homie,
Perfect.
I'm gonna do what my mom
like a
did
judge.
and go with the legal curfew. Is
Oh, that's a good
11
idea.
until you're 12, until you're 18, then it's 12. Until you're 12,
You're 12.
then it's 12.
Wait, that's a really good idea.
legal curfew?
Wait, is
Wait,
that
do we
in
have
every
that
state?
here?
Is
we have that
until
here?
you're
I'm
18.
gonna
There's
search
like
that.
a legal, isn't there a legal curfew for 17 under is like 11 p.m.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look that
but
up
what do you
here.
mean when you're?
When you're 18,
When you're 18.
it doesn't, you don't have a legal curfew anymore.
Oh.
So then it's like, I meant.
Can you look it up
know.
if we have one in Tennessee?
It's 11 until.
I had to abide by it.
I think that's
It
a
was
good
11.
idea. It's like, it's the law.
Because it's like, I don't want you, like, if you get pulled over at a certain time. Like,
Yeah.
if
In Tennessee,
you-
it says someone is 17 or 18 years old. They can't be out in public past 11 p.m. Sorry, the 18 is right above it. Monday through Thursday, or 12 a.m. Friday through Saturday.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh,
12 on the
weekends.
weekends, 11. No offense, my children. You have to get up early for school in the week. We're not staying out late in the week. I would say a
right.
weekly curfew would be probably 10.
Yeah.
And then weekends you can do 12.
Is 12 pushing or
ham.
no?
I don't think so.
Why is my child out till midnight?
Catherine, why? You never went out.
remember
we
teens
stayed
stay up
out
till
till
midnight
3
all the
a.m.
time?
What?
Multiple times together.
We did?
At people's houses when we were teenagers. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I remember it.
What did we do? What did you
We just sat there and
You
hung
hang out with a boy? Not what you want to do.
No.
Wait, you guys were doing that together?
No.
We went to many places until very late.
You and Catherine.
Or you're hanging out
A
in a
lot
group.
What are
us.
you talking about? Oh, like friends that
Yeah,
you both
like
had. Oh, okay.
friends.
I don't know. I feel like midnight is a good curfew for a teen.
Not after.
Like, I feel like after midnight, it's like, all right, you're just kind of pushing it at this point.
I don't know. I feel like midnight
come
might be too
home.
much.
I was going to say, I think midnight's a little late. I might do 11. Sorry. You can go to the
I'm
party,
just
but be
saying-
back at 11.
But like, is it that much of a difference between 11 and 12?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I also saw is that people had to leave by time.
Yeah, because that's
Not
the thing.
come home
if
by
your
time.
curfew's 11, you're probably leaving more like 10:30,
10:55.
10:40, depending where you are.
That's true.
And then you're
I
gonna
would say you need to
speed.
leave
True.
by 11.
Yeah. And so if they text you, I'm leaving right now or whatever at this time, then it's like, okay.
And
But-
you're like, why did it take an hour to get
I
home?
would say weeknight
Yeah, you could say, why did it
curfews,
take an hour to get home?
I would have a strict actual weeknight curfew of like 9 p.m. because
Yeah.
I wish that was enforced on me on
Oh.
weeknights because then I would have a much better like time in
Why are you
life.
staying
But
out
would
late
you
in the
be
weeknight?
mad? Really mad at your parents?
I wouldn't be that mad. I would be like, oh, this sucks. And then I would get older and be like, oh, that was great.
Guys,
Good for them.
you
Because on
will-
the weekends, they could stay out till midnight.
You will thank
Yeah.
your parents later on for the things you're annoyed at them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I used to always get annoyed at my mom. She would say, you can plan one social thing per day. You can't do more. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, lady. So then as soon as I was old enough, I was like, I'm going to plan 5 things a day. And then I was exhausted. And I was like, oh, she was right. This is bad.
Because, okay, yeah, I think for me, the curfew on weeknights is part of school. Okay, this is part of
Oh,
school.
yeah. It's a
I am
school
your
night.
schoolmaster.
Well, yeah, if it's
and this is part of
9
school is going to bed.
And she's not saying you have to go to bed at 9 p.m. You just
But
have to be
you have to
back
be home.
I just
Yeah.
don't think
So you can go to
people
bed by
out
10.
at like midnight, it's like drunk drivers. Like there's just, I think
Honestly,
things going on are not good.
My curfew for myself is like
Listen, when
9
you're
on
18 years
weekdays.
old-
I'm like, I gotta be home.
Yeah. Go out and stay up all night, do what you got to do, but not under my
It's a lot to think about.
My roof, my rules.
Yeah, I want to like walk the line between things your kids will be mad about and things that will build this like internal rage because you're being really like unfair as a human and like disrespectful
to
and
be
whatever to
fair
your
about
kid
it.
because that's a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. Think about a weekday curfew. Okay, we'll go to the next one.
All right, next topic is dating. What are your dating rules?
I thought about this as a teen. Not that I was dating, because I was a nerd once again. It's okay, teen Amy. She gets it. I would say you can like go out on dates, like real dates, when you can drive. For me, that
Okay.
would have been 18 years old, but I wasn't dating before then. But like when you can drive, like I'm not trying to take you to the mall with your little GF. Like that would cringe my soul. I'm sorry, honey.
Oh my god!
Like you can group hang and stuff and maybe like hang out, like have people over to the house one-on-one, you know, or something. But like, I don't know. I just feel like if you can't drive, you can't date. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to think of what kind of rules I can remember. Like my friends.
I don't think we did.
Having-
I don't think we really had rules. We were
Well,
just
it
like,
was don't date till you're 25 because that's when the brain is fully developed and you'll have a way better time.
I think we were all too embarrassed to date in front of our parents because they were like, don't date until you're 25.
Well, I never had an opportunity to date as like a 12-year-old or something. Like that
Same.
just didn't happen until I was like 16. So I don't know, like, because I feel like dating in like middle school, I'm like,
So
what does
weird.
that mean?
What
But
even
it's like,
is that?
is it that big of a deal? It's like they're kind of just like friends.
I'm wondering when it's like,
I
when-
don't
when
know.
people are like, I'm not allowed to date until I'm 16 or whatever. I don't know.
How do you enforce that?
I'm like, you're not allowed to date. I don't know. It feels weird to tell your kid they're not allowed to date because
well, and if you, yeah.
Well, yeah, because there's also
It's kinda
like
confusing
okay,
to
if
me.
they're like 6, like oh my boyfriend, it's like you can't have that. It's like it's not really a
They're
boyfriend. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know what my rules would be because again, it's like you can rule, but it's like
They are
are they
gonna do
really
what
gonna
they're
do
gonna
that?
do.
It's
Yeah.
more like explain, educate.
I'm thinking of all the people
for
I've
me, I
known
don't
of
know.
who are like not allowed to date until a certain age, but then they were just secretly dating or they went crazy when that age came. I'm just like, is that a good strategy? I don't know. Like you're not allowed to, I don't know. It's
Maybe it would be more on a case-by-case basis.
But then it's like, are they allowed to hang out with boys? I would say yes.
yeah.
For us, like I feel like our parents
At my house,
like,
I want to come to my
discouraged-
house.
They didn't say we weren't allowed to date, but they definitely kind of made it seem like it was kind of a frivolous thing to do. Like I felt like it felt like we were just, it was kind of dumb to date. So it was like embarrassing, I guess. I don't know. Didn't you guys get that impression?
Well,
like, she didn't really
yeah.
talk about it with our parents.
Well, I didn't want to say, Mom, I want to hang out with this boy. I would never say
She would be
that.
like, why?
I
Like,
would
ugh.
never say
Yeah,
that.
I just got secondhand shamed by you guys being like, oh my gosh, these kids are 12 and they have a boyfriend. Okay, that's not a real thing. And I was like, oh yeah, that's so dumb.
Bro,
Yeah.
but like,
so it's
what
like
if-
I just got that from you guys being like, oh, that's so dumb and weird. And I was like, yeah, that's dumb and weird.
I'm like, bro, what if your
Yeah,
like
but-
14-year-old though comes to you one day with 16-year-old who can drive them
That's
around?
a great question.
I don't
have
want
a rule
my
about
14-year-old
that.
out with a 16-year-old that
Okay.
can drive.
If you're not allowed to hang out with boys who are like more than a year older than you. No. But that's gonna be hard because it's like the sneak. Okay, I don't know. Okay, better not. But that terrifies me. She's like 14, like some 17-year-old boy.
Because it happens a lot.
Guys, that's a thing, and that is.
I would also say they very much dependent on the circumstance. Like I feel like
terrifying.
I was discouraged from dating, so I just kept everything from my mom, and I was like, I'm just gonna, hang out with boys, whatever, in secret on my own. But whereas I would love for my sons to like feel comfortable enough talking to me and my husband like about their dating lives. I mean, as much as they want to. So I feel like I would encourage them, just like, hey, if you guys want to hang out with someone, like maybe you could do like a group thing, or you could come to our house and hang out at our house, and I'll be in the kitchen, like I'll leave them, to like go hang out outside or in their, living room, whatever, somewhere by themselves. But I'll be close by. So it's like, give them like
You're around the
give
corner.
them situations where they can thrive. Don't be like, oh yeah, go hang out with that person late at night on your own. Sure, sounds great. Like, no, they're like a kid. Like,
But
give
what
them
if
some guidance.
You did have a daughter, and she's 14. There's a boy who's 17, and she wants to hang out with him.
I would say, sure, you
Okay.
could do it in front of me in the living room.
I
only.
feel like it also depends on the guy too.
Oh, it's so
Lauren,
hard.
it can't. 17 and 14.
Wait,
it
but
can't depend.
but I
Also,
have
why
to
are you
say,
preying on my daughter, you weirdo?
okay, but listen,
Get away.
but the deeper, once again, there's a deeper issue there. Like once you're to the point where it's like you're trying to make these rules, your kid's sneaking away, sneaking off behind your back, doing all these crazy things, and
Yeah.
they're like going on. in a bad direction. Like there's deeper stuff going on as a teen. I'm thinking of all my friends who did stuff like this. I'm thinking of things that I did. And it's like there's always a deeper thing going on. So
true.
you
Yeah.
really need to address the deeper stuff with their mental health, their self-esteem and confidence, your relationship with them, their relationship to themselves, the
Yeah.
relationship to men as a whole, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
They're like,
what?
hey, Mom,
I think
can I hang out with this boy? And you're like, how are you feeling?
that's exactly,
Yeah.
I'd be going to,
Like, how's your self-esteem these days?
what's been going on?
I feel like I would be like, actually, I would amend it before they can drive. They can go to like coffee with the boy. They can do things like that, like lunch, daytime, like
Okay.
those kind of things. Also, guys, can you imagine if you're 17-year-old girl wants to hang out with your 14-year-old boy though too? You flip it too. It's just very strange each way.
This isn't really,
Yeah, that's weird.
wouldn't
There's a
really
lot of life that happens in those 3 years.
Exactly.
Anyway,
So,
that scares
yeah.
me. So I don't really know.
So no one has any rules anymore.
I feel like, yeah.
You can drive. You can actually date at
that's
nighttime,
hard.
and before then, you can date during the day.
I would say
Okay.
my rules are date in like appropriate
Okay,
circumstances.
date in public.
Yeah,
Just don't
date in
Public.
private.
No movies.
I
until
will
you're
be
older.
very encouraging of hanging out with groups of friends and whatever, and their crush or whoever at my house would be great. So I'm like, yes, you can hang out with them, bring them over. Oh yes, you want to go
yeah.
out to dinner? Let's go out to dinner. You can invite whoever it is, whatever. I think that would be great, and I would love to encourage
chaperoning the
that.
date.
I want them
Yes.
to learn how to interact.
You can go to dinner with your
people.
boyfriend if I could come.
Yeah. I want them to
A
learn
friend
how to
group,
interact
not
with
me and them.
You're saying we go to dinner, I'll come.
No.
Next topic.
No, I agree.
Let's hear it.
Drinking, vaping, smoking.
Okay. First of all, I'm gonna have to print out some X-rays of popcorn lung and be like, "Look, and then I'll print out all of the comments on videos of people being like, "Ooh, I'm like, I don't vape," and then everyone's like, "Wow, I wish I didn't." I'll show them that.
Comments.
We're gonna print out comments
He's
for
like,
them.
read these comments. Exhibit A. Exhibit B.
Like, see how your peers don't actually like it once they do.
See how your peers don't like this?
Amy's very informative. I love it.
Yes. Like, I don't know. I believe in showing them
He must be like, oh, mom and her
the
presentation.
realities of situations,
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so cool.
Okay, what are the rules? It's illegal, so what are your rules?
That's hard. That is hard.
I guess even though drinking is illegal, then a lot of parents don't have a rule that it's illegal. They're like, why? What is it? Do you want to look? So I'd rather you do it in the house.
See, that's how I feel.
But then until
If
you
you're gonna
get
drink, I'd rather you do it in the
until
house.
you get arrested.
Yeah, it's
I'm
also
not getting
illegal.
it. I'm not
Parents get
getting
arrested for
arrested.
stuff like that.
No, I'm not saying get crazy and throw
I'm
a
just
party in my
saying.
home. I'm just saying
Parents do
if
get
they're,
arrested.
Like a
Even if you're not
okay,
home,
Okay,
though.
okay. They're a teenager. They're curious.
I'm gonna
what's
have to
this
pull
like?
up some news articles for my children too. I'll be like, look, this happened to this person. Happened to Harry Connick Jr.'s daughter. She got arrested because she was 18 and she had a big party, but they would have got
But
arrested
Amy,
if she wasn't 18.
I'm not saying throwing parties for legal reasons. I didn't say any of this, but
no, I know what you
Well,
mean.
that
though.
works. For legal reasons, I didn't say what I'm about to say.
But it's like, okay, if their dad is cracking open a cold one and they wanted to try it out in a safe family environment, I don't really think
Okay, if they're
that's
like,
wrong,
I wanna
but it is
taste that.
illegal. And if that's how you feel, then, well, it
What's how
is.
you feel? It is illegal.
It is illegal.
If you feel like following the law in that, then
Which you should.
You should.
For legal reasons, you should always follow the law.
Okay, I think they can
Okay,
taste
everyone.
it.
I am not going to let them taste it. You are following the law in my house. No drinking.
You're not going to let them taste it?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Following the law. No alcohol. I'm serious. That is a hard
You
no.
can taste it at church.
I'm like, listen, when you're out on your own, no. When
taste
you're
it
out
at
on your own, you can live your life, but my house, my rules.
I
No
don't know.
alcohol.
My home is
Yeah,
a
it's the
no
curious-
smoking premises. I can tell you that.
curious
There'll
topic.
be no vaping
There's
or
no
smoking.
smoking or vaping.
Nope.
Just because, like, it damages the house.
Okay, I think this is another one where it's the deeper issues. So any kind of, I've done a lot of studying on substances, substance
Same.
abuse, addiction, and whatnot. As we all have
It's
been
not
avid
about the nugget.
avid learners.
It's about the lies.
So when it comes to these things, and your child is very hooked on something or very
phonics.
hooked on
Reliant
fond
on-
of something, there's a deeper thing going on. And oftentimes it's a lack of connection with themselves and others. And they're filling a void. They're tuning out some painful things going on, leaving this world, going to another place because of lots of things, pain. So anyway, when I think of like I have strong stances on drinking myself and substances in general myself, but I'm really aware that if you like, we all know someone whose parent was like really crazy, right? About not crazy, really strict about like drinking or whatever, and their kid was crazy. We all know that, right? Because they're so strict about them not drinking, it really backfired. My parents didn't. I mean, what did they say? I don't remember
They
them
said nothing.
ever telling me
I
not
don't
to
remember
drink.
them telling me
I don't
anything.
remember
It's not like they said you should drink.
I remember
but
you showing me brain scans of people's
I
brains
tried
after
to tell.
drugs.
I tried to tell them not to.
I love the brain scans. Really got to me. My children will be seeing those.
I guess
like you had holes in your brain.
it depends on the person's temperament.
Yeah, I didn't really
want
care
holes
about the
in your
brain
brain.
scan.
It depends on the temperament.
But, like, look,
but Amy wasn't going to anyway.
It's hard though because like when you don't drink, the goal I would say is because look, you want to set up. I think the goal with all these things is to set up your
Safety.
teenager. Well, yeah, I was gonna say that, but yeah, to be a like fully functioning, thriving adult, right? So with alcohol,
good
you want to
decisions.
set them up to be someone that knows how to handle it responsibly, as all the advertisements say. You know, like there's a reason it says drink responsibly. So I feel like you want to teach them responsibility. But for me, I
Yes.
feel like it would be difficult because I don't do it. Or I don't like drink or any of that. So
Yeah.
then I probably will have a husband that drinks, I'm assuming, because that's like
Yeah,
the
that's what
normal
I
way
was
of life.
thinking. I'm like, Nick's going to have to do a lot of the talking about specific things that have nothing to do with my experience. But then I have the experience of being around it and being like, no. And the reasons behind my stuff is very based in like trauma
Personal
and
experience?
bad experiences.
Yeah.
And thinking of like, just thinking of all the things my friends' experiences or experience that I've been in where someone who was most time was drinking a lot put me in a dangerous or terrifying situation and or friends who have gotten or friends who have gotten like who've been one, violated, two, very physically hurt, three, died. So, but then none of that, even with all that, none of that gets through really to a teen when they're
Because
you're that much-
I'm not gonna die.
yeah. I mean, you're a teenager. It's not like you're an idiot. You're just a teenager, and it's a different thing with your brain. And when you're going through so much pain, you want to like escape it. It's like there's nothing more attractive than escaping pain when you're in pain. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter like what else is going on. There's like
Yeah,
nothing.
the risks just go down. And you're like,
Yeah, it's
well, I
just-
could feel better though.
So once again, it's a deeper issue, but then also rules wise. See, I'm not going to say never drink, which I always thought I would say never drink, but I'm not going to say that. Because I think it would go really badly if I did that.
Yeah.
I think it would go very badly. I want my kids to be really educated, to really have a clue. I'm not going to do the don't talk about things strategy. I don't think that works
Yeah,
for
no,
anything.
that doesn't work.
For anything. I think I want my kids to really like have a clue what's going on. I want them to be able
Yeah,
to
I
make
want my children to be informed.
smart decisions. I'm just thinking of like, okay, so thinking of one person, one time, this one friend I had was like driving me and like some other friends, they weren't my friends. They were like that person's friends around. And most of the people have been drinking, not the person driving, I don't think. And then I obviously hadn't. And this person was driving like an absolute psychopath. It was very dangerous, like going on these wild, zippy roads where you could get in a really bad accident. I was like, you need to stop, whatever. And the people who had been drinking in the back were like laughing and going like, yay, whatever. And I'm like, it makes me scared to think of like, they didn't realize like you could die.
The danger there.
Yeah.
Because they're just like having a good time. But I'm like, this is what teenage life. Or the time I was in a car and fireworks were going off inside the car. And I'm saying,
gosh.
stop, get out. Because the person was under the influence lighting fireworks inside the car.
That's a great
and
idea.
also too, what do you
You can't
guys
just pull over on any road. You have to get to the place you can pull over.
Yeah, what do you guys think about like I feel like with parenting in general, I very much think it's like monkey see, monkey do. It's like
Yeah.
what your kids see is probably what they're like. If you want your kids to be kind, you need to be kind yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you want your kids to be responsible with drinking, you just be responsible yourself. Like I feel like that
And
will
if you
kind of
don't, it's true. Like if you don't drink, then
right. Like I don't drink at all, and I'm like don't really want to ever. And my husband drinks very like minimally, like
So they could see
more of like
that.
he'll have like one drink and that'll be it. So
Well,
it's like
I know people who like their parents don't really drink, so then they just don't drink. Cause there's
that's
like
me.
yeah, that
My
like
mom
that's the
doesn't
example
really.
that you see. I think a lot of times it's what you set that kids will follow. At least I'm hoping that's what happens.
I think I think like the bottom line of mine is like I want to have a really good relationship with my kids where they don't feel like judged by me. I'm understanding like I get you're a teen and being a teenager is really difficult. You're going through all this stuff. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're a teen, you think you know everything, blah blah blah, whatever. Like when people are really out of touch with teens, I hate that.
It's difficult.
I want to be understanding and like be like have a close relationship with them, and I'm going to understand that they're going to do things that I don't agree with, and things they're going to make mistakes. They might make horrifying mistakes, and they really need me to be there for them, not to judge them and be like, you're making me look bad because you did this, which I know that's really hard as a parent, but like that's not what it's about. At the end of the day, I want my kids to be safe and well-adjusted and like
resilient.
resilient.
Back.
and you want to be a soft
confident.
place for them to land because they
want
are
them-
going to
yeah.
fall.
Yeah.
I
want
feel
them to
like
trust
they're
me.
gonna need to know, like, okay, like I am trusted by my parents to be responsible.
Yes.
And I have responsibilities that I do well, and I can trust myself to be responsible.
Yes, because
And
if
I
you treat them like, what were you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
You're a bad
if you're
kid. I
treating them like
expect
they're
you.
bad, they're probably going to
Yeah,
act
if
like
you
that.
give them responsibilities in all these different parts of their lives,
They might rise to the
Then,
Like
challenge.
you have I have high expectations of you, but I know that you are a teenager. I was a teenager before, and I know you're going to make mistakes, and some of them are going to be kind of horrifying, and that's expected because you're a teenager.
need
but
to
I still have
know.
I
Yeah.
have high expectations because I know you really can grow into this great person, but you have to make mistakes along the way, and I want you to be able to call me, please, in the middle of the night if you're in a really dangerous situation and you need my help. Please call me.
If your child feels trusted and responsible, and they also feel that their parent will be there for them if things go wrong, I feel like they're going to be set up for a lot better of a time.
yeah.
Well
That's what I hope
said,
will happen.
everyone. Well said.
Thank you.
There's one more topic, which is piercings and tattoos.
Okay, we had to do a lightning round on this. What are your
rules?
rules?
Oh, my rule?
What are my
I would let my kids get a tattoo. If you're like
what age?
16 and you've thought it over for a long time, once again, like if
Isn't
you
that pretty lenient for most parents? Am I right?
if
Yes.
you really
Is that
if
even legal?
it's-
Oh, you have to sign, right?
Yeah, if it's look,
Wow,
bro.
Amy's the lame.
If it's really, especially if it's really small, too. I don't care. You want to get a cross on your ankle? Go for it,
That's
girl. I'll
such a
get one
thing.
too. Like,
That's such a
think
thing.
You're going to be a
So
fun mom.
funny.
if it's small and like thought through or meaningful, and they're not gonna, and I feel like, okay, you know, you're not gonna regret this. Like, you're not gonna regret a little cross on your foot or something.
Most likely not.
Why not go for it? And then piercings, yeah, I don't care. Like, I would want you to try it out with a fake one for a while first.
That's a good idea.
Like, I know, look, yeah, try it out. I'll get you fake piercings all day. If you want a nose ring, you
Would
get
you
a
like,
fake
yeah, I was
nose
going to say,
ring.
would you let them do like a facial?
What- okay,
piercing?
your 11-year-old daughter says I want a nose ring.
Then I would give her a fun fake one for every once in a while.
Do you have like a rule for what age she can get a real one?
You can get a real nose ring probably at like 16. I feel like at 16, and also you can dye your hair whenever, well, after let's say 12, then you can dye your hair.
I feel like fake is a really good idea because then they can try it out.
I love a fake nose ring. I've done it many times. It's fun.
I really feel like you get what you get. Actions have consequences, and you just have to understand that and live with it. So, like, if you want to get a tattoo, I'm not gonna be like, "You'll regret that." I'm like, "Well, that's what you
What if
want."
your kid's 13?
Okay, not 13. I think 16 is like, okay, if you want that, well, in life, you get what you get. You made
mean,
this
that's
choice.
true.
If you regret it, we all have regrets.
I wonder
true.
if they're
That's
going
what
to
you
think
wanted,
tattoos are
so-
like an old person thing, though.
I don't know.
Because
and
all
then
the old parents will have tattoos.
piercings. Oh, I'm so scared of piercings, but that's just me personally.
You don't like needles?
Like getting them is so scary. I think 18 for like a facial piercing.
Whoa.
I don't know why. To me, that's just more like hardcore than a
No.
tattoo. I don't know. It's just like
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
I like the idea of piercings. It's like you can just take it out.
yeah. I don't know. I think also it sends a message. Well, maybe then not with tattoos. It sends a message that you're older than you are that I don't
That's
love.
what I was thinking. It might be attracting,
that maybe you need to wait till
like,
you're 18.
older attention if they look older
Yeah,
than they
it's
are.
weird
don't
that
know.
is true. Yeah, you're right. That's
Yeah.
true because it makes them look older.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely not against tattoos or piercings. Also, it's interesting because my husband has like a good amount of tattoos in his chest.
That is so. I never think
Get
about
that.
Our
that.
sons, well, I guess daughters too, but like they'll see that, you know, we go to the beach or whatever, like that's just
Yeah.
part of the family. So it's not going to be like a weird thing. So I'm definitely not against them. I do think it is a very like adult thing to decide though, to get, I don't think getting your ears pierced or anything, or like, I don't know, dyeing your hair, whatever, that's kind of in the same category. But like, getting like facial piercings or like tattoos is such a permanent thing that I would want them to be like a full on like legal adult.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's not that I would like shame them or be like, you can't do that. But I'd be like, let's just wait till you're a little older and you can like decide that for yourself. It's your body. You know, 18.
Also-
I think 18 is a good age.
Nose rings take some responsibility because
Oh,
they could get
yes.
infected real
I
fast.
had a friend
Yeah.
who got a nose ring and I watched how she had to stick her nose in this thing and hold it for like a
Ew.
long time and clean it. It looked like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I would say 18. When you're 18, you can decide if you want to get a tattoo or not. Because who am I to tell you can't? I'm not gonna be like, under my roof you can't get a tattoo. I don't really think that's the move. And then piercings, I like the idea of fake ones. And then once you're 16, 17, you can get other ones beside your ears. You can try out fake ones.
Oh, okay.
I think I would say that. All right, so we are doing part 2. Wait, is this episode Patreon only?
Yeah, this is you're on Patreon now.
Okay, hello, Patreon. We're doing episode 2 next week. So we'll see you guys in that one where we do the other half of this list, which I'm really excited for. But now we need to go to Sister Spotlight. So each week, we put you guys know it's Patreon. We put Spotlight on a different sister. We have me, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, Lauren. And this week, the sister is... It's Lauren's Take.
Hey.
All right, we're gonna jump right into the deep end. These all come from Patreon. This is from Laja and Rosa. Have you ever considered becoming a nun?
Oh, yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
even if you're not even Catholic, like,
You consider being a nun at some
girls
point?
have considered like I should just join the convent.
done with
whatever.
men.
Maybe not everyone, but I feel like a lot of people do that. But I have thought about it like genuinely before, but not like that in depth. I didn't quite feel that call on my heart, but I did question if it was there. Because I'm like, that sounds like a nice life. Every time I meet a nun who's like in a convent, not necessarily like the ones that are like
sisters?
out in the world so much, but the ones in the convents, I'm always like, wow, you seem so
Wow.
happy.
The sisters that I know, they seem very happy too.
Yeah.
Girl,
So,
we
I
love
don't
it.
Okay. Nimsha asked, do you have a current celebrity crush?
said
When do I not?
something from Amy.
But I can't think of who it is right now, though.
Yeah. I'm
Can
trying to-
you-
When do I not?
I know it's not.
a
We had
show,
whole
a
conversation
movie?
on
Oh my
it's
gosh.
not.
I'll tell you who it's not. Any of the Chris's, the Hollywood Chris's.
Oh, wait. Who?
Chris, not any of them. Chris Evans, no. Chris Hemsworth, no. Who's the other one?
Chris
Pratt,
Pine.
no.
Agree.
And Chris Pine, no. None of them, no.
Agree,
no, no.
agree.
I mean, the latest one I can think of is George Clooney.
Oh my!
Oh, all the
gosh,
Ocean's
such
movies
a
are on
millennial,
Netflix.
Lauren.
We should watch them again. We should watch the Ocean's.
But I feel like I watched something
millennial.
recently where I was like,
I don't know.
I can't remember who it was though, but I'll just do that answer for now.
Okay.
Oh, he's going with the movie with Julia Roberts,
I
George
know.
Clooney, where they're trying to break up their daughter's
kinda
wedding.
like
and I'm
really
like,
a
I
bit-
got
okay,
it.
He's
Out of
kind of
your age range
really
now.
old now though.
But
Like,
I
it's
think
like
that movie looks so
saying
good.
a young-
it's a little too late.
No, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
movie
yeah.
seems so funny.
Okay, Imari said, do you fall into an aesthetic when it comes to fashion and lifestyle, like cottagecore,
Coastal glam.
gorpcore,
What is that?
light or dark academia? Wow, I don't know. I only know what one of those is.
No, I'm free flowing, ever changing. I wouldn't really say so. The only thing that I consistently am is like colorful. I'm never
Yeah.
like neutral black and white person
You've
ever.
never been a neutral girl.
Always love color. So, and I think I'm always a bit eclectic. I never really like. I just don't like fall into like a simple category. I usually am. If I am something, it's that mixed with eclectic.
Have you seen the Instant Dream Home? Because they always do the houses
Yes.
really colorful. I wonder if you'd like
Yeah, I like the color.
that. Okay. And then Linda says, what do you consider to be the best dessert?
Ooh.
You guys really care that much about this question? Okay. Best dessert. I don't know. I like candy. That's not really a dessert though. That's like a snack. So I'm not that big on dessert. I'm not like, oh, I'm ready for dessert. Like, I'm more like, ooh, mid-afternoon candy.
Love it.
You know? So I
Okay.
don't know.
Last one. Where would a perfect first date be?
With someone that you actually like.
I think they're trying to say though, like where, like what would be a perfect first date? Like what do you think's a good place to go?
Yeah,
or
good
something?
activity.
I don't really care that much. Like maybe not like a dark alley. I don't know. Like if I don't know. It's like doesn't really matter where you are. If you're with some annoying person, not that fun. But then you could just sit on a curb with someone that you actually like, and that's fun. So I don't know. Like
Sounds
Is
nice.
that a date sitting on a curb?
Being on a curb with someone you like.
yeah,
Sounds nice.
it could be. I don't know. I'm not really that into doing things, honestly. I just like to talk. So it's like,
Same.
You do like to talk.
yeah, okay. Perfect first date is something where you can actually like talk to the person and
So
have
no
a good
loud
conversation.
music, no like loud
No,
noises.
Not a bunch of people.
No
Ugh,
loud
no.
noises.
Like a walk
Coffee.
and
cozy place.
a meal. Like
And some restaurants are cozy and some are like more like lots of people. Blah.
maybe like a picnic. That could be
that's
a
a
good
fun
one.
idea.
A picnic, a little walk.
But see, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not your
We all
take.
keep chiming in on
It's
Amy's
mine.
take or Lauren's take. It's not
I was
ours.
like,
Amy's
all right.
take.
Well, that's all we got for today.
All right, Patreon, thank you guys so much for supporting us. It means so much to us. We love our Patreon community. You guys are the best. And hopefully you guys love all the content we've been putting out. We love making content for Patreon. So thank you guys for being there and for asking such good questions in my Q&As, I got to say. I love doing
They
them.
do have good questions.
Yeah, you guys have really good questions. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
You've been listening to the Cimarelli podcast. Follow Cimarelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimarelli on Facebook and Instagram.